The Odyssey. I went to watch this film yesterday and I'm just going to give it a rating straight at the start of this video. And overall, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I actually really enjoyed this film and I think Christopher Nolan did a really good job with the storytelling and the casting of this film. The only thing I would say is that not all the performances were needed in this film. I'll start off with Matt Damon. He was perfect for the role. Matt Damon was the right casting choice to lead this film. He really did carry this film. And I think he had the right look. He had the right kind of aura. I think he just really perfected the role and he really worked hard in just making sure that overall he's just the right fit for it, really. I think he just did a really fantastic job. And I'm really glad that Christopher Nolan chose Matt Damon to lead this film because I don't think anyone would have done it better. Obviously, it's easy to say that once you've seen the person in the role, but I do think Matt Damon was the perfect casting choice for this film. Tom Holland was good, playing the son of Odysseus. I think, again, he was a good fit for the role, and I think he played it well. I think he did a good job. Anne Hathaway as the queen, as the mother, the wife of Odysseus. I think, as usual, Anne Hathaway is wonderful, and I do love her, and she's very, very good. Usually, so I wasn't expecting anything less in this role, and I think she just really emulated the role perfectly, and I think that she was a great casting choice as well. Zendaya as Athena. Now, I like Zendaya, I do, and I'm glad that she was able to have a spot in this film, but I will say that I don't think her role was completely needed in this film. Just knowing when and how she appeared, her role specifically, how she appeared in the film and the purpose of her role, I just felt like out of everybody's position and fitting into the storyline, I just don't think that her role was particularly needed. And I would say that about anybody who was going to play Athena. It could have been anybody, and I would be saying exactly the same thing. I don't think that role was particularly needed, but I think it was quite creative, having the kind of living embodiment of Athena being close by Odysseus as he tries to make his way back home. I think it was a creative choice, but I just don't think it was entirely necessary. I think even if we didn't have that role played in the film, it wouldn't be missing anything. Charlize Theron, I kind of feel a little bit the same way. I kind of feel like her role wasn't entirely needed either. She played it well. She looked great, as she usually does. But I feel like just particularly about her role, I didn't think it was entirely needed. And again, I would say that about anybody who was playing her role. This is nothing to do with the actors, actresses personally. I just think how the role fits into the film, it wasn't completely necessary. But between Charlize's role and Zendaya's, I see the kind of relevance for Charlize's role more than Zendaya's in this instance. But yeah, kind of similar thoughts. I'm not sure if it was as relevant as it needed to be. Robert Pattinson was a great casting choice. I think with the role that he played, I am so glad that Christopher Nolan got Robert Pattinson in that position. I think it was perfect. He had the right look. He's a great actor. I really, really do like him. And I feel like I need to kind of really discover his filmography a little bit more. Obviously, as you know, if you've watched any past videos of mine, I love the Batman. And I think he did a fantastic job in that role and really surprised everybody, surprised me. Not because of the acting ability, but just the role of Batman is just like different to what he's done. But actually, he really is a versatile actor. He's been in different things and acted in different ways and roles. But in relevance to the Odyssey, I really, really liked that he was in this film. I think he was the perfect fit for the character he was playing, and I'm glad that no one else was chosen for that role. Elliot Page, I thought the role was fantastic for Elliot. I think it was really, really fitting to the storyline. I think it overall added to the plot really well, and I'm really glad that that role was written in the story, in the movie. I actually really enjoyed how how that role appeared in different parts of the movie, and how it just kind of, especially at the end, I won't reveal too many spoilers, but I just think it was a really good kind of tie-in at the end, and I'm just really glad that this role was written in. And with Lupita playing Helen of Troy, she was great as usual. She only had a smaller part in the film, but I think with the part that she had, she played it really well, and I'm glad again that she was cast. I think she was great. Which brings me on to talk about the online rage bait that was going on around this film, namely to do with Elliot Page and Lupita Nyong'o. Certain characters of the internet were complaining about the potential of DEI kind of favoring happening in this film with these two actors specifically. And it just goes to show that this is why, like, it's just, you have to be so careful with what you see on the internet and what is revealed. I knew that people were going to be rage baited as soon as they saw that Lupita Nyong'o was going to be Helen of Troy. I knew that as soon as I saw that news come out on Twitter, that there was just going to be a whole load of complaining by a whole load of people, especially Elon Musk. Now, I did a video about Elon Musk and why he's complaining about the Odyssey and Christopher Nolan's casting choices, as if he's in Christopher Nolan's shoes, needing to have an opinion on all the casting and things like that. Now, it's okay to have an opinion, of course. Like, everyone has their choice of actors and actresses that they think would play better and their reasons and things. Like, we all have that. But the way that Elon Musk was just raging about this as if like it was personal to him, it was just ridiculous. Come to find out that Lupita has all about 5 minutes in the film, and the film wasn't even about her. It wasn't even about Helen of Troy. Like, she wasn't even the central main focal point of the film. And I just knew that as soon as that headline was going to come out about, Lupita's going to be Helen of Troy, that there's just going to be a whole load of people buying into the rage bait, and then they're going to see the film and see that, oh, she's only in it for like maximum 5 minutes when you count up all her scenes. I knew it. I knew it. That's why I was just so silly to be angry about this. And I'm glad that the film was filmed how it was. I'm glad that Lupita had the kind of role that she had in there, just because of the hate that would have just been thrown her way. That's already been thrown her way. So if she had more than what would have been required, then it just would have been complete mayhem. But I think it was done really well. I think the way her role was written into the film was just perfect to the whole storyline, and I'm glad that it was done the way it was. And let this be a lesson: stop buying into rage bait. Now, in reference to some of the scenes I really liked, this is obviously going to be spoiler heavy, so if you haven't watched it and you plan to and you don't like spoilers, you might want to skip past this part right now. But some of the scenes I really liked. I really liked the men hiding in the Trojan horse, where they were stuck out on the shore of the sea and they were hiding in there. And I think the way that was filmed was just really intense, and it just kept me kind of on edge. I'm just thinking, oh gosh, they're gonna get found out, like what's gonna happen at this part? But I really liked how that was filmed, and the tension that was built up in that scene, and I thought that was a really good, really nice added part to the plot in the telling of the story, and Odysseus trying to come home and what he went through with his men. And also the Cyclops. Now, that was really creative how they embodied that creature in the film, because as we know, Cyclops has just one eye, but they made sure to twist the eye on its side so that, of course, it's still in the middle of the head, but like the eye is on its side. And it just made it look even more creepy and scary. And I thought that was a really creative move on the filmmaker's part. So I thought that was really good, actually. And actually that whole scene with the Cyclops and the sheep and the men hiding in the cave and having to escape and not realizing that it belongs to a whole a whole monster. So I thought that was really well done, and that was a really great part to the storyline of the movie. So I think they were my two standout scenes of the film. I thought it was just really creative. I thought really intense, and it was just a great part to the storyline. So that's my very quick review of the Odyssey. If you have seen the film, please comment below. I want to know your thoughts and opinions of the film. What did you like the best? What didn't you like? Did you buy into the rage bait and online ongoing conversation around DEI roles and things? Please let me know. I would love to talk to you about it. If you haven't seen the film, will you see the film? And if you do, will you come back to this review and tell me your thoughts? Please do. I look forward to hearing your thoughts, and I will see you in the comments.